This is Kyle Beckham again with the Angel Row YouTube channel, and I'm back with my X50. This is part 2 of my PD and X50 tutorial. And one problem that I found is when you're dealing with negative numbers, what do you do? And when you have numbers that fall outside the 0 through 127 range, what do you do? How do you handle that with sysx? So I'm kind of playing around with some different values here and seeing what comes up in PD. So let's go with 1000. What I want to do is find out what the max number here is for the tuning. So let's go to 9,99999. And there we go. We've got a number that's obviously out of range, but it maxes out here at negative 1200. So 1200. And can we go below that? Well, can we go above positive 1200? No. Can we go less than negative 1200? And I think that's pretty obviously no. So here is the sysx message that goes along with this parameter. And what I want to do is just make a note to myself that we're going to run from negative 1200 all the way to positive 1200. And how are we going to send sysx messages for that range? That's pretty big. So what I want to do is kind of show you how I work sometimes when I'm just trying to work out the math and figure out which objects I need to solve this particular problem. So what I want to do is zero it out. We're going to zero it out, and negative 1200 equals 0. And that's where we want to start. Now I want to drop this in, and this shows, this is the one without the dollar sign. So our lowest value is going to be 118.80. So there are 2 bytes here that control what the parameter is going to be. So it's 118.80. So once you get over 127, it clicks up to the next value. So 118, you get to 127, it goes to 119, 0 to 127, and 120, and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to put some stuff out here, and like I said, I just want to kind of think things through. I know we got to start at 118 on one side, and we got to start at 80 on the other. And so I'm zeroing it out. Negative 1200 is actually our lowest number. We're going to cancel that out with the object plus 1200. Over here, we're going to do a modulus. And guess what? That negative 1200 mod 128 gets you 80, which is our lowest number here. So on the right side, we're done. We don't really have anything else we need to work out. But we need to work out how we're going to handle the first byte. All right, so let's try adding 118 to that. Okay, and do we get the results we expect? Well, yeah, sure. Kind of. There you go. I mean, yeah, the lowest you're going to get is 118. That works. So we're going to go up, and wait a minute. It just keeps on going. We're going past 128. Now we're up to here. This is our max value, 1200. It's 2518. The Korg is not really going to like that. It's not going to respond to that too well. So we'll do a modulus 128, and that will wrap the value to 128. So that's, we're in the neighborhood. We're on the right track. So negative 1200, again, there's our lowest value. Hey, still gets 118. Now if I go up to 1200, well, it's 86, and it's going to cycle through 128 a few times. So that's not going to do it. So our lowest number over here, we need to start at 80. So let's not do that. Let's start with adding 80 to that. So now our lowest value, when you go through modulus, it's going to be 80. All right. But now this side's got to start on 118. So what we want to do is we want to divide our number by 128, and we're going to truncate it. Now, expressions, I always get kind of confused every time I try to write an expression. You know, I'll take it just a little bit at a time and make sure everything's working right, and I'm just going to play with it. You know, hey, look, it works. Yay, it works. And I'm just trying to think through when I kind of play around with things. I'm really just thinking, you know, what my next step needs to be. And sometimes I just need to take a little bit of extra time to work these things out in my brain. I'm not a very smart math person, so it takes me a while, and I just kind of fiddle with things. All right, so let's see. What I'm going to do is go ahead and let's go ahead and divide this number by 128, which is what I should have done all along. All right, divide by 128. All right, now check this out. Divide by 128. You're truncating it, modulus 128. That's what we want to see. All right, so all the way down to negative 1200 and below. Okay, so you go all the way down to 0. We don't want 0, though. What do we want? We want to start at number 118. All right, for the time being, I'm still just kind of playing with it. And, you know, if we keep on going up, you see how it cycles through 6, 7, and then blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. And so we want to start with 118 and go up. So we're going to add 118 to that. There we go. So now we go down, and there we're as low as 125. So if I go all the way down, guess what? Now I've got my 118. This is correct. This is what I want to see. This is what's going to work. Now, can we make one side control like both? Well, one number atom control both sides. Can I get the 80 on the right side and the 118 on the left side? And I'm pretty sure I can. I feel like I can. I still want to kind of play with it because, you know, I'm brain dead and I got to think about it a little bit. So positive 1200, yeah, it gets you up to 9. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and make these changes now. Let's go ahead and connect these two, 1200 mod 128, and we'll get some different values now. Let's see, so there we go. We're at our maximum and we're bringing it down. Keep on bringing it down. Keep on bringing it down. Now, what about our minimum number? Is it going to work the way we want it to? If I go negative 1200, probably should. But I just want to kind of play with it because I just like to think through and even commit some of this stuff to memory. There we go. So 118.80, and I like it. I think I'm going to move on. So let's just select. Wait a minute. Forgot. Okay, there we go. And get rid of that. Don't need it. And move this over here. And like I said, I'm just kind of getting in my head. I need to simplify this expression. That's you know we can get more out of a single expression that'll do that. So let's go ahead. You know, let's go ahead and change this so I have the $1 and then $2, because what's going to come out on the left side is going to go to number 1. What's going to come out on the right side goes to number 2. And let's just delete that, and we're going to copy that. Keep and let that hang around. Now we're back to my usual template. We're having inlet and outlet, and let's get this expression that's simplified. So we're going to go expression trunc $f1 plus 1280 1280. So we don't have to do those extra addition. Divide by 128, and that gives you a float, but we want to truncate it to a whole number. We're going to add 118 to that. So that's and then the second expression is going to be $f1, so it goes straight through. We want both of those to go modulus 128. So copy, paste, and move that over. There we go. And we go through here. All right, very nice. And we're going to pack these because it's got to go through both. Have to go through the message at the same time. You need both to go through real fast. So we're going to pack these two. Yeah, now let's get that message in. Let's bring the message back and copy and paste. There it is. Copy and paste is my friend. And let's connect these. Got my $1, $2 works. Move it over. And I'm not moving these like, to the side like I had been before. It's pretty obvious where the connections are going. It's pretty straightforward. So sometimes I'll stagger how they look on the screen, so it's easier to see if I messed up something. I can fix it. So fix it here and here we go. Inlet, and that's it. That's it. That's all there is to it. So anytime you have a negative number, and when you're dealing with numbers that are larger than 127 or less than 0, on the X50 at least, what you're doing is you're cycling through several different bytes to get larger numbers. You just cycle through it, just go right around the clock, because the clock has 128 minutes, right? And doing that, you can expand it a little bit and do some other things, and you can also you can also change different bytes in the sysx message, and that will affect everything on the keyboard. So that's the part 2 of my tutorial on PD with X50. I hope you like it. You want more, feel free, absolutely free, to subscribe to this channel, and I'll have more stuff up as soon as I can get to it. Soon I will work through and get this whole patch completed, and if I feel like it, I may post that somewhere, and I'll let you know where to find it. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.